And then the next one that I want to talk about is, I love this one, and it's being comfortable, being uncomfortable. I love that. University of Kentucky basketball coach John Calipari. I recently watched a video. A friend of mine sent it to me. Of he was talking about working with his athletes, and I'm actually going to read what he said. He said, in order for his players to be the best that they can be, his job as a coach is to make them comfortable being uncomfortable. His job is not to coach them at the level they are at now. His job is to coach them where they need to be and where they are capable of being. This means that they will be where they have not been before, and they are going to be uncomfortable at times. The situations where they struggle and feel pain, where they are taken to their limits, is where they truly learn about themselves and become the best that they can be. I love that. It's really, if you look at anything you've done, that when you were learning it, you were very uncomfortable at it. The more you put yourself in that uncomfortable situation, the more you gained your confidence in it, and you went from being uncomfortable to being capable. And the more we can put ourselves out of our comfort zone, the tougher we can become. And so as we do that on a regular basis, we can really develop ourselves and develop the strengths that we need to achieve our goals and to gain success. And then the last one I want to talk about is holding ourselves accountable. What are you accountable to for yourself? Using my example of getting up at 4:08 to go to the gym. Nobody else is going to hold me accountable to that. It might be when I walk in the door at the gym, Steve might tell me, hey, I missed you yesterday if I wasn't there. But there's not many people that are even going to know if I went to the gym or not at that time, because most people are still in bed for quite a while. But I've got to be accountable to myself. And holding ourselves accountable is something I think that is very key and needed if we want to be really successful. And as we allow ourselves to get away with things, whether it's with ourselves or our staff or anything like that, the things that we allow to happen and we allow, whether they're what's supposed to happen or not, they become acceptable. And so let's say this morning I slept in and didn't go to the gym. Well, maybe that was the first time in 6 months that I've done that. Well, next week, if I'm overtired and I didn't get a lot of sleep and it was a busy day and I got a lot happening that coming day, maybe it's that much easier to say, well, today I'm going to sleep in too, because it's more important to get my sleep than to go to the gym. And then the next time it's that much easier. It's that much easier. So as you do these things, you make it acceptable if you're not holding yourself accountable to your actions. So I've also talked a lot about basketball in these calls because I coach basketball. And the nice thing, one of the things I like is one of my assistant coaches, I know he's on these calls a lot. And so we have these conversations outside of these calls too. And it's a great opportunity to talk about these principles and concepts with the team. And I think they're gaining a lot out of it too. But I like to look at conditioning as a mental game. We do our conditioning in basketball so that they're in shape, so that they can play to the best of their ability throughout the game. But I think being in good condition, being in good shape is as much of a mental benefit as it is a physical benefit for a few reasons. For one, if you're in a basketball game and you're in the fourth quarter and it's a close game and you're exhausted and you look in your opponent's eye and they show no exhaustion, they look like they're just getting their second wind, that is a powerful mental game against you. And if you're the one that is in shape, that's a powerful thing for you to take your game to the next level. You're ready to kill it. But it's also as we're doing the conditioning. You know, we were doing some drills yesterday where I noticed there was a few girls struggling, and as we kept going, it got harder and harder. And they tell me they're giving it everything they've got. But then when I tell them, okay, we do this next one in a certain amount of time, which would make them push a little harder than they had been pushing. If y'all make it within that time, we're done. And guess what? They make it. So that's telling me they weren't giving it everything they had in the other ones. And that's a mental game. Or it's the ones that, as we're running lines, that they're stopping 6 inches short of the line. They're not going all the way. They're cheating themselves. And that's holding yourself accountable. You know, there's things that you can do that you might feel you're getting away with, but when you're cheating yourself like that, you're the one that's going to pay.